It's time now to turn our attention to the international newspapers. Leo McGuinn joins us for that. And Leo, we're going to start in Syria, where now just over a week after the fall of Bashar al-Assad, things starting to return to a fragile calm.
Yeah, fragile calm indeed. Some sort of normal returning to the area. And that's the headline in Arab News, which is a Saudi state-backed publication. Normality returns to Syria, reporting that Christians return to Mass for the first time on Sunday. The new transitional government, therefore, passing an early test, according to them. Moving forward, many have asked how the country are going to cope economically. And you can see this piece in the Financial Times this morning. How Assad drained Syria. The paper reports that the central bank airlifted around $250 million to Moscow in a 2-year period, at a time where the country was desperately short of foreign currency. The shipments of cash to Russia coincided with Syria becoming dependent on the Kremlin's military support and Assad's extended family embarking on buying a spree of luxury properties in Moscow. The Wall Street Journal explore a similar theme this morning as a global hunt for billions of dollars in cash and assets the family stashed away is now underway. Among those assets is that prime real estate in Russia that I mentioned, also boutique hotels and a private jet located in Dubai. Human rights lawyers say that they're planning to track more assets in the hope of recovering them for the Syrian people. This piece concludes that it will be a long chase if attempts to recover the wealth stashed by Saddam Hussein and Colonel Gaddafi in the past are anything to go by. I'll finish with the Times, who bring us inside the drug that brought Assad's regime $5 billion a year. That's, of course, Captagon, was produced and packaged on an industrial scale in Syria. The pills were smuggled into Jordan and Saudi Arabia in an operation run by Assad's brother. One factory was set on fire as those in charge were fleeing, but authorities still found over 60 tons of the drug in that factory.
Gosh, staggering amount. Moving on, Leo, in an article you picked up on about Israel's decision to close their embassy in Ireland.
I'll start in Israel, where the reaction has been varied. This is Ynet, a more right-leaning conservative publication. They say that the decision was taken after over a year of policies taken by the Irish government, including recognising the Palestinian state, divesting from Israeli companies and ignoring Hamas's crimes. Haaretz, who are often very critical of the Israeli government, unsurprisingly, have a very different take this morning. They've called the move an attention-grabbing gimmick. Ireland seems to be chosen to have been made an example of. The choice was made by Foreign Minister Gideon Saar, a man who Haaretz notes is fighting for political relevance after a collapse in public support. The speech finishes by saying it's hard to understand the logic behind closing an embassy while maintaining the ones in Madrid, in Oslo, where the governments hold similar positions. I'll go to the Irish press next. The Irish Independent reporting that Taoiseach Simon Harris has expressed his deep disappointment at the decision. This editorial ends with Ireland's stance on Israel's actions in Gaza is not driven by malice. Sometimes the best friends are those who are not afraid to tell uncomfortable truths. The Irish Times next. In this piece, they make the point that this so-called gimmick may actually be linked with saving money. In September, the Israeli finance minister said that in order to fund Israel's ongoing war in Gaza, he planned broad spending reductions of about €9 billion in 2025. And yesterday, Israel announced plans to open an embassy in Moldova in 2025, which suggests that the Irish closure may be linked with redistributing diplomatic resources to more friendly pro-Israel countries.
OK. Crossing the Irish Sea, Leo, you've picked up on a story about a Chinese spy making front pages in the UK.
Makes a lot of the front pages this morning indeed. This is the front page of The Guardian. MPs threatening to name the Chinese spy linked to Prince Andrew. The man suspected of being a spy who can't be named due to legal reasons was pictured with the royal. The man is now banned from the UK, and the Tories have accused Labour of being particularly weak on the subject and not wanting to publicly criticise China. The Independent also lead with the story this morning. They report that Reform leader Nigel Farage will name the suspect using parliamentary privilege by Wednesday, at least, if Labour don't do so before him. The man who was expelled in 2023 after it was discovered he had links to the Chinese Communist Party. He's accused of using his connections to supply information to China. The businessman had roles at key UK-China business groups, was filmed for a Chinese television documentary where he showed photographs of himself beside both David Cameron and Theresa May as their time as Prime Minister. According to court documents, he was so close to Prince Andrew that he was authorised to act on his behalf in an international financial initiative.
OK, interesting. You're going to finish, however, Leo, across in the United States, where drones are leading to many concerns and questions.
Well, if you live in New Jersey, there's a good chance you would have heard or maybe seen these drones. The New York Times reporting that weeks of sightings have very much left residents on edge. People simply have no idea what these objects are flying over their homes. Tens of thousands of people curious about the mystery in the sky have taken to social media to swap theories or share videos of the objects. Some people have suggested that maybe they're extraterrestrial spacecrafts, while others believe they're large-scale drones. This has been going on since at least the 13th of November, so over a month now, when an unauthorised drone was spotted flying near a US Army research facility in New Jersey. Since then, hundreds more sightings have been reported. US Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has come out to say the authorities know of no foreign involvement. He's also called for expanded authority to shoot down drones if need be. Many have cited a domino effect, with experts saying that many of the reporting sightings are actually authorised, lawfully manned aircraft. But military officials have confirmed at least 11 sightings over that army base in New Jersey, which is only fuelling the anxiety and uncertainty in New Jersey at the moment.
Indeed, understandably so. Liam McGuinn, thanks a lot for that look at the international papers.